Hey, Regina here at Tarot in Time. Let's jump right into December of 2023. This is a big month. We have a full Cancer moon Christmas. We have a Mercury retrograde beginning this month during the Christmas shopping and traveling season. So there's a lot to be aware of. There's a lot of opportunity this month. And so let's just pay attention and make the most out of it this month. All of the timestamps are below if you want to skip around. I'm going to talk about astrology to open, and then we'll go into a pick-a-pile tarot reading. So overall, when I look at the chart for the month, I see a lot of Earth energy, a lot of planets in Earth signs, especially the planet Pluto, the planet of transformation and change that's finishing up its time in the sign of Capricorn. It's never going to go back into Capricorn in your lifetime once we get into 2024. So that means that wherever Pluto is in your chart, wherever Capricorn is in your chart, that is where true transformation and change is happening. Now, this is important change. This is the change that we want to cooperate with so that we can move forward without all this old baggage. Capricorn rules antiques. It rules old stuff, old ways of thinking. It can be really important old ways of thinking. It can be traditions and values and rules, but we need to look at what needs to change for us, especially if you have planets in Capricorn. Then you Aquarians hold on to your seat because Pluto is going to move into your sign for the only time in your lifetime, and it's going to stay there for 19 years, okay? So you Aquarius people, things are going to start showing themselves what needs to change, but you have time to work with it, okay? This is powerful, and I think it's really amazing. When I reflect back on when Pluto was in my sign of Sagittarius, as I've talked about before, they were huge, pivotal years of my life, okay? And I'm pretty happy with what happened by the time it moved out of my sign. So this isn't to be afraid of. This is power. This is grounding force. This has to do with your roots. This has to do with your career. This has to do with your outlook on the world and your standing in it, okay? So as we jump into the month of December, we have very little planets in air. So we know that we definitely need to get fresh air, and we need to sit sometimes and really think about the decisions that we're making, okay? And we've got a lot of fire energy. We've got Mars, the planet of go, let's go for it, right? Is really close to the sun. So it's really a fiery planet close to a fiery planet in fire signs, Sagittarius. And us Sagittariuses, sometimes we can leap into things. So we have to be careful when to take the action and when to just use that energy to plan and to, I like to think of like all the possible outcomes of my decisions and which one is best. And Sagittarius can envision things and feel things. So have fun with that. Have fun with envisioning, and the gratification doesn't always have to come through the immediate decision, okay? It can have some fun in the creative realms. We have a lot of mutable energy this month, and Sagittarius is a mutable sign along with Gemini and Pisces. So I think of mutable, I think I said the wrong thing. Along with Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. So when we have mutable signs, and I have a lot of mutable energy, it's kind of like we're always just trying to shift, adapt. Oh, maybe this, maybe that way, right? Let's talk about that game of Tetris, where if you've ever played it, where the shapes are falling and you're trying to find the best way, okay? So there's a lot of that kind of energy this month. But we have a big emotional full moon coming on right around Christmas. And so there's going to be emotions are going to run high. And then to top it off, we're in a Mercury retrograde. We will be by mid-month. And so things are going to be wacky. Travel's going to be wacky. Plans are going to be wacky. Information is going to come to us in weird ways. We're going to have to go review over things that have been happening. Okay, so we'll break down more of that when I get into the week by week. All right, so get ready for this big month. Remember that you have to be kind and gentle with people. There's a lot of people hurting out there, as we know. There's a lot of people that show us one side of themselves and don't show us their true pain, okay? And I think a lot of us have learned that the hard way. This is a time to be really careful about people's emotions. This is going to be a full Cancer moon. It's all about nurturing. It's about your intuition. It's about almost like soft feminine power, okay? And so things can get really emotional. I'm a Cancer rising, so I know about this one. So when when our dealings with others, let's go with gentleness. Mars is going to be there close to the sun that just kind of wants to bulldoze over things, but we're going to have to slow it down and really move forward with kindness. So we're starting off the month where we left off on Monday, December 4th. And we know that this week we have Venus, the planet ruling relationships, the relationship with ourselves, the relationship with others, especially relationships with women, how we love, what we value. It's moving into the deep, watery sign of Scorpio. Okay, now this isn't exactly the ideal placement for Venus to be, because Scorpio is a lot of deep, deep emotion. It can rule secrets. It's about power, and it's about change. And sometimes when we have Venus in Scorpio, we can get really hurt really easily because Scorpio wants to feel safe, okay? And Venus wants to open its heart. So just know that energy is in the air, okay? So it's even more reason to be gentle and kind with others. So we're going to start off the week of 12/4. We start with the moon in the sign of Virgo. Now, old love might surface this week. There's some South Node action going on. You've got this. Love runs deep. So choose love, choose kindness. I'm not saying get back with your ex. That's not what I'm saying, but it may surface and you may get some closure, okay? Tuesday the 5th, we continue in with the moon in the sign of Virgo. Now, it's easy to be pulled in two directions. I think I noticed some back and forth energy in the chart. Love yourself anyways, okay? Not everything is always balanced. On the 6th, December 6th, Wednesday, the planet Neptune's going to go direct. Remember that time there where we had all those planets in retrograde? Well, they're starting to come out of that. They're going direct. But I have to say, Mercury retrograde's coming, and you want to be prepared for this one. One of the ways that you can prepare for a Mercury retrograde regarding your Christmas shopping is get it done early, okay? Or if you cannot get it done early, make sure you have receipts, make sure you have gift receipts, make sure you check your credit card, and those big, big ticket items. If you're going to spend that money on people, do it before the 13th of December, okay? Now, Neptune direct on the 6th, so that's going to help give us a little more clarity, okay? The moon's going to enter Libra in the morning of the 6th, that justice-seeking sign of Libra. We're going to kind of get back to reality with Neptune going direct. Even though it's going direct in its own sign of Pisces, it operates really well there, but it can bring a little bit of fog and delusion into the picture. So we're kind of going to get back to reality. I wrote on the 6th, please do something kind, like donate to a food bank, do something for your community. On the 7th, again, when Hanukkah begins at sundown, we have the moon still in the sign of Libra, the relationship sign. It's a great day for planning. Its solutions are available. Planning would be really great to be planning your holiday travel, because if you have already booked plans to travel, please check them. And as my mentor, Sheila Haidt, always speaks about, check them 3 times, because Mercury retrograde is the pattern of Mercury moving forward, Mercury moving back, and then Mercury running over that same old ground again, okay? So 3 times, check it. I think it's worth the inconvenience for saving a huge inconvenience later. Friday the 8th, we'll have the moon moving into Scorpio late that evening, around 10:30. So you're not going to be able to make everyone happy, right? Libra wants to kind of make everyone happy, and sometimes will compromise itself. Make sure that you feel good Friday the 8th. Now we move into the weekend, and this will be a Scorpio weekend, one of my favorites. And so Scorpio is going to be deep emotion, right? There's a lot of, I feel very powerful. I have a lot of planets in Scorpio, so I can get a lot done during a Scorpio weekend. But remember, be wise and remember that money does not buy love. I know that we know that, but really feel that, okay? And be careful about overspending this holiday. Time spent is a great gift. Now, Sunday, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's a really good day to rest. Scorpio moon is going to be square Neptune. And so water signs love rest. Get some rest on Sunday as much as you can, okay? Then we move into the following week. And we're moving into the week of December 11th through December 17th. We've got a lot of fiery energy going on because we're moving into a new moon in Sagittarius. I think of this new moon as like the dreamer moon, the very playful, I don't know. I always compare Sagittarius to that book, The Time Traveler's Wife. And I just remember that scene where they were looking for a house and they had seen the house in their mind. And so every house they went to was like, no, no, no. And then they found it and they knew immediately that that was the house. And that's the kind of energy I feel for a Sagittarius new moon. It's to be able to sit in that creative energy and play in your mind of how you want to feel. What is it? Not even all the details of what it's going to look like. How is it going to feel so that you feel best, that you can be at your best? So I would recommend a nice candlelit bath if you have a bathtub. I would recommend a little bit of healthy daydreaming and a really positive kind of manifesting positivity vibe, okay? So Monday the 11th, moon will be in Scorpio until we wake up, 6:11 a.m., Sagittarius. Moon moves into Sagittarius. Lots of fiery action energy available. Use it for good, okay? Because it's going to be, Mars is there pushing right up against the sun, and we've got this feisty fire energy. Now, don't break the rules on Monday because the Sagittarius moon is square Saturn. And so as much as Sagittarius wants to make its own rules and do its own thing, you're going to have to follow them. So be careful on the 11th. The new moon will happen at 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, the 12th. Feel out your ideas before leaping. So I kind of feel like that's a way we can appease Mars, the planet of action, and Sagittarius, who wants to go do everything, is to kind of do it in your mind first before making a big leap. We've got a lot of squares going on that day, so just take it easy, envision. Wednesday the 13th is when Mercury retrograde begins. So you want to get the major shopping done before the 13th. You want to get your travel plans finalized before the 13th. And I know we're in the shadow period of retrograde beforehand, but go up if you need to. The 13th, your deadline, okay? It's at 2:09 a.m. on the 13th. Finish stuff up before moving forward in 24. One of the benefits of a retrograde is a redo. Okay, so we get to go back in time, reevaluate, reassess, renegotiate, redo. This is a great redo Mercury retrograde. We can get so much cleared up, finished up. Let's see, I had old projects return for completion is what I wrote down. Lots of possibilities, okay? Now, the 14th, now remember, Mercury retrograde is going to run through New Year's Day. Okay, and so when it's going to start at 8 degrees of Capricorn and it's going to move back to 22 degrees of Sagittarius, okay? So which will be the same as November 25th, when's the last time we were at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So we're going to be going over old ground from basically from Thanksgiving, okay, back over now, so we can clear some things up. We can finish some things that didn't get completed. All right. Now 12-14 We have a Capricorn moon, and it's going to be square Chiron, that wound point. Some old wounds are ready to be let go of, especially since the moon's in Capricorn. Pluto's in that sign of Capricorn, right? And so there's this cleanup work of old stuff. I think it's like, for me, I feel it as like old family traditions, old values, okay? Old ways of like, for me, it was like lack of family traditions or lack of grounding energy. That's starting to come up and heal. Have some good talks with yourself on the 14th. On the 15th, life is not balanced right now. The chart is kind of, all the planets are on one side. Depends on your chart where they land, but it's not balanced. Be positive anyways. Make the most of it, okay? We have an Aquarius weekend, so anything is possible, the 16th and 17th. We have self-care as the key on Saturday the 16th because the moon's going to be square Venus and Uranus. There's a lot of Venus squares with the moon this month, okay? Venus is women, Venus is relationships, Venus is self-care, self-love, and value. So there's going to be a lot of that with the moon. There's a lot there about women. There's a lot there about relationships with women, relationships with your mother, and nurturing it this month. Sunday, take time to daydream about your future plans. The Pisces moon will be conjunct Saturn in Pisces. So we can take those dreams and we can actually apply them towards our everyday life. Now we move into the week of 12/18 through 12/24. And this is our last week of Sagittarius season, okay? And then the sun is going to move into the sign of Capricorn. That's going to happen on the 21st, Thursday. Well, what else was in the sign of Capricorn? If you remember, Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn. Now, they'll be at a lot of degrees apart from each other, but they're still in the same sign. So it's almost going to amp up the intensity of these final closures that we need to make with this old, antiquated ways of being, okay? Now, I know it sounds a little scary, but it's going to bring us into fresh energy, and that's a positive thing. So Monday the 18th, wait to take action. More information will be provided soon. If you take too much action on the 18th, you're going to find out that you were missing information. It's also a Mercury retrograde. I get so much weird information from the oddest ways during retrograde. It seems to be a theme that I notice, and it helps. I get closure on things. I get keys of information that help open up doors. Tuesday the 19th, the answer is still no. Think back to what was happening on 12/5, okay? So we have some of that Mercury retrograde comparison of dates. So some themes that were going on, 12/5, showing up now. 12/20, Wednesday, clouds are clearing. There's more clarity, easier to make decisions and to move. Old conversations resurface. We go into the 21st and we want to take note of our accomplishments, okay? We want to celebrate. I have a star on the 21st. Gratitude abounds, okay? You can never go wrong coming from a place of gratitude. Now, Friday, 12/22. Travel plans affected by Mercury retrograde. We've already talked about that. Plan ahead, triple check your plans. Please don't take it lightly. Saturday, we are on the 23rd. We are heading up to Christmas and we are heading up to a full Cancer moon, okay? Please remember, I've said it a few times, time spent is the best gift of all. Christmas Eve, there's social energy Christmas Eve. I believe the moon is in Gemini. Christmas Eve, moon will be in Gemini by 3:15 a.m. So Gemini social gives us a little more air energy that we're missing in the chart. But stay put. We have a square with Saturn. So Saturn's the rules, okay? Saturn's like the police. So don't drink and drive. I mean, don't drink and drive at all. But, you know, even if we have that 1 or 2 drinks, if we stay somewhere for a while, do not push your luck on Christmas Eve because of that square with Saturn, okay? So please just Pick your spot and stay there Christmas Eve. Remember, heading into a very emotional, but I call it an emotional power, if it's handled in a healthy way, Cancer, nurturing moon. So let's talk about Christmas Day. So 12/25 through 12/31, be extra gentle and kind, including to yourself. Emotions run high on Monday, 12/25, Christmas Day. Even though the full moon is until the next day, it doesn't matter. We're still feeling it, okay? Now, kind words. You have to be really careful with sarcasm on Christmas because Sagittarius loves a great sarcastic conversation. And even though the sun has moved out of the sign of Sagittarius, Mercury is still there. And let me make sure I've got that right. 12/26. Yeah, so we still have Mercury, the planet of communication, that's retrograding. And it's really close to Mars in Sagittarius, okay? So Mercury is going to want to tell sarcastic jokes, and Mars is going to be a little pushy. And be careful, be careful. And especially with the women in your life, okay? It would not hurt to have some extra gifts or extra flowers handy for the women in your life around this holiday. Chiron goes direct, and that'll help lighten things up. Wednesday, 12/27, enjoy your friendships, okay? Provide some emotional support to those that you love. The moon will still be in Cancer. Please remember the holidays are not for everyone a wonderful time, okay? Please check on your friends. On the 28th, we have a healthy dose of humor is good medicine. So it's starting to move into a situation where that humor is a good thing, but you might want to use it to watch a holiday comedy movie or something funny. Bring some funniness into your life, okay, on the 28th. Friday the 29th. Now remember, because the moon's moving into Leo, and Leo loves drama, so choose a movie. Friday the 29th, alone time is good medicine. Got some squares with Jupiter and Uranus, although we do have some trines with Mercury and Venus. So alone time is still good medicine on the 29th. Plans change easily. Be aware of it. The weekend, our New Year's Eve weekend, Jupiter goes direct. That's helpful. Saturday, solo energy is your best choice on Saturday. If you can, it's easy to get stuff done, okay? Taurus, Jupiter's in the sign of Taurus now, moving direct. Financial gains are available for the brazen, okay? But it's a Mercury retrograde. So take your brazen ideas, write them down, plan, detail it, and wait till retrograde ends. Wait for the new year. Now, Sunday, New Year's Eve. The moon's going to be moving into Virgo by 6:53 a.m. The moon's going to be square Venus. Remember, we saw that a bunch of times. The moon is what rules the sign Cancer. We're coming down off a Cancer full moon. Make sure to be aware of others' needs, especially women. And I wrote bring flowers because I really don't think you can go wrong with that. Mercury retrograde is going to end on January 1st. It's going to be a wonderful New Year's Eve gift. Or New Year's Day gift, okay? Couple things I forgot to say. The full moon in Cancer. It's a very fertile time, ladies. Very fertile time. So there's going to be lots of Pisces babies showing up this year. And so be aware of that. Now, January. I just want to talk briefly about the chart for New Year's Eve because that is our leading chart for the new year. Okay, now when we look at that, we know that the moon's going to be in the sign of Virgo. Let me just get this in here. Okay, so the moon's going to be in the sign of Virgo. Let me make sure I do not have the right date here. 1/1/24. So remember, we're moving into an 8-year in numerology, and an 8-year is represented by the Strength card. So that's going to be our card of the year. Now, the moon is going to be in Virgo when we start off the new year, but it's going to be square Venus, okay? So we have themes here. We have themes of health, because Virgo's health. We have themes of schedules and routines. That's Virgo, right? Being adaptable, trying to find the best way. Venus, we already talked about. It's our relationships, especially relationships with women and ourself. So we have themes of healthy relationships. We have themes of adapting to relationships to provide the freedom needed, because Venus is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. And what Sagittarius wants more than anything is freedom. So we have to find the routines and schedules so we can have that. Now remember, scheduling time for these relationships is important. Pluto is going to be in the same sign as the sun, right? And Pluto's transforming themes of Capricorn. Themes of tradition, themes of family, themes of value, themes of traditions and career. So it's important to really schedule the time with our loved ones this year so it really happens, because we've said over and over again, time spent is the best medicine. Time spent is the best gift, okay? The moon in the chart, when you look at the chart, you've kind of got all the planets on one side and then you've got the moon across from it kind of steering, okay? So the moon in Virgo is going to steer our way through this new year. And so you want to get to know Virgo. And I know that a lot of us have in our minds that Virgo is just a nitpicky sign. And yeah, it is. It's detailed, it's precise, but it's also adaptable, okay? And it can bring us a lot of stability in our life. So the moon is our subconscious. There's a lot here about healing old mother wounds and how we've been nurtured and how we nurture others in relationships. Mercury is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. And so it's got a lot of old belief systems are going to start to show themselves, and we can decide what we want to let go of. Budgeting is a really great thing with this chart for the new year. Virgo loves a good budget. Our finances, our value with this square with Venus. Where are we just giving ourselves away? Where are we just throwing our money away? Where are we giving too much time and our energy in crap relationships? Okay, those are the questions we want to start asking ourselves so we can have a really powerful, strong strength new year, right? And we think of the strength card, it's usually depicted with a lion and there's usually some roses involved, okay? And it's about being strong and severe and being like almost like too kind, right? Like the thorn protects the beautifulness of the rose. So we want to look at where we're being like too accommodating, too much of a pushover, and where we're being too strong and too rigid, and finding that middle ground, okay? An 8-year is a really forward moving year. And as we think of the cycles running in 9s, we're approaching the end of a 9-year cycle, okay? So more about 2024 next year. I've got some new formats coming in for our readings next year. Gonna have some special guests to discuss some of the astrology. Please, any feedback that you can give us on what you would like to see more of or new ideas that you might have, please comment below. So we're gonna jump into a pick a pile tarot reading, and go ahead, pick your pile, whichever one reached out to you first. Pile number 1 is represented with a piece of amethyst on some copper. We have pile number 2 represented as a piece of citrine on copper. And pile number 3 is a nice piece of rose quartz. Pile number 1, you picked this piece of amethyst on copper. This is actually off of a necklace. And I learned recently how protecting copper is. I know that it's used as like an anti-inflammatory. A lot of people wear it to help if they have like arthritis or something, but I didn't really understand till recently how much it's used for protection. Okay, then we have amethyst here, which is used for so many things, but I often find it just a very comforting stone. All right, so let's see what you need to know, pile number 1. I'm working with some really cool decks, and so one of them was given as a gift from our friends down at Bohemian Gypsy in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and Ginger sent up her favorite deck, the Star Tarot. Okay, so we're going to work with that one. We're going to be stocking that one in Kent soon. This is one I got off Kickstarter that Sheila Haidt had, or an original one of this deck, and I was so excited that I was able to get my hands on it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's called Boudica's Tarot of Earthly Delights. Really fun. I have some Zen tarot mixed in here. We're going to use the Witch's Tarot and a self-care oracle. Let's see what you need to know, pile number one. This big final month of 2023. Okay, we're starting off with the Emperor card. This is an amazing card. Check it out. The Emperor is a piece of asparagus. Okay, and he almost looks like a turtle face. He is in a position of power here. He's on a stage. Everyone's kind of waiting for him to speak. The Emperor is in charge, ruled by the planet Mars. Now we know Mars is close to the sun. It's been that way for a little bit. It's going to continue that way for a bit. He doesn't look like he's in a rush to speak. Okay, so taking the time to make big decisions. The heart of the matter, we have the Empress card. Oh, interesting. So you got the match here of the Emperor and the Empress. They're a couple. Right, so this beautiful Empress from the Star Tarot, and she's almost got butterfly wings, and she's got swans around her. It's a very, very fertile card. Remember we talked about the full moon, the fertile energy? There's that full moon behind her. Okay, this is the heart of the matter. So if that's something that's been a theme for you, if you're trying to have children, there's the couple. Oh, this card just fell out. Here's the Page of Swords. Maybe there's been a few swings and misses, okay? But batter's up again. So if you're looking, if fertility is on your mind, this is showing in the cards, okay? And if this might be fertility in a different way. This might be, this could be work related. This could be money related. This could be related to a project that you're trying to take on. Maybe you've had a few swings and misses, but this is a great time of planning and redoing and all the stuff. So let's see what else we've got. Your foundation card is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, not a bad card to have as your foundation. This is earth energy. There's so much surplus here, and there's that baby I was talking about. So there is, whatever it is that you're trying to give birth to, it is moving forward, okay? Behind the scenes, we have the Possibilities card. Beautiful. So many possibilities in the background. Looks like I think it's an eagle, so he kind of has the vision to see, really hone in on what he wants. This is card number 2. So it's like a relationship number. Let's see what else is going on in the background. Oh, here's our card of 2024, the Strength card. Beautiful. I love how the 8 is in her, right into her clothing. Okay, so there's a lot of power back there. I kind of get that the swings and misses were very emotional for you, but you have the strength to move forward. As we move into the future position, we have the Hermit. He's taking some time alone, getting some fresh air. Remember, air energy is really low this month. Okay, this is winter time. The Hermit's your inner guide. It's also number 9, and we're moving into an 8 year, and then we'll move into a 9. So if you're trying to get pregnant, if you're trying to give birth to some project, it's showing me that there'll be completion in the 9 year, okay? And here's the sun, which rules children. It's Leo. It's shining brightly, okay? So there's definitely, there's those butterfly wings that were on the Empress in the background. Now it's kind of around that child, all right? And there's a yin and yang sign. There's a lot of, I just feel like this is just a birth card, okay? So something is going to be born. Let me get a little bit more clarity. For some of you, it may be children. For some of you, it may be a project. Let's see what else. We've got the 5 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. There's the 5 of Wands, 5 is a number of change. Wands is passion. There's that volcano exploding. Yeah, it really feels to me like the change that you need to make what you've been waiting for is happening, okay? Here's the 2 of Wands. It's kind of on point. It's almost like blasting out of like the zodiac chart, right? And so, like I said, there's going to be a lot of Pisces babies. Okay, let's talk about self-care for you as we go through this holiday season. How can you best care for yourself? We got make a meal. Make a meal and aromatherapy. So here is your make a meal card. So, you know, as we move into that new year, and Virgo is so related to health and wellness, and it has a lot to do with like, you know, cooking and taking care of your health. So there's some more natural choices here, focusing on routines and schedules as we, you know, even though I know we're moving, this is December we're talking about, but we're going through this holiday season, but we're kind of thinking ahead of how we want the new year to be, okay? And your other self-care card is aromatherapy. And, you know, like I say, you can never go wrong with flowers. Let's roll some dice here. We're looking for some power days for you, and let's see what we got. All right, so we rolled Leo. We rolled the North Node in Leo in the 10th house, okay? So I see this a couple different ways. The North Node is your Dharma point, what you came here to do. And this is showing me the sign of Leo, which rules children, it rules joy, it rules being seen, right? It's often called like the rock star energy. It's almost like you stepping up onto a stage, taking your rightful place. It's about the heart, okay? 10th house is Capricorn's house, structure. A lot of people call it the house of your career, okay? So this is showing me that there's something here about stepping up. Now, let's remember, let's look at the dates that we have Leo moon energy, okay? When will Leo be prominent? Well, we know that by Friday, December 1st, we have the moon in the sign of Leo all through the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd. Then we look again and we have the moon going back into the sign of Leo on the 30th, okay? No, I'm sorry, on the 29th. Actually, the 28th, 7:23 p.m. on the 28th. And that runs through the early morning of New Year's Eve, okay? These are power days for you. These are times for you to really choose yourself, choose your heart, and really looking at Saturn-related themes. So you really want to see where Saturn is in your chart, right? Where Pluto is in your chart, because Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn that's ruled by Saturn, okay? So those are where the transformation is happening for you. So pile number 1, I hope you have a fabulous December. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Pile number 2, you pick the piece of citrine on this little bumblebee copper. This was part of a necklace. It's kind of cute. Okay, so we've got bumblebees, we've got citrine that has a lot to do with, well, it's used for like financial success, right? And copper being very clearing, right? It helps protect, it's anti-inflammatory. And we got this bee energy. I got kind of like queen bee energy. Bees are so protected. So I'm kind of getting like protect your finances, protect what's valuable to you, watch your spending, all right? So let's see, I haven't looked at any of these cards yet. I'm working with a couple of really fun decks. This is a new one. I think it's called Bodega's Tarot of Earthly Delights. Okay, got that one off Kickstarter. Then this one was a gift from Ginger down at Bohemian Gypsy down in Tarpon Springs, Florida. She sent this one up, the Star Tarot, and it's really becoming a favorite fast. I also have some Zen Tarot here and a self-care oracle, okay? So let's see what you need to know this big month ahead. We've got a couple cards falling out here. And first card showing up is the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So this would be the Ace of Pentacles. It's pretty wild, huh? That's kind of what's on the back of these cards too. There's the eye. Think about the eye used so much as a sign of protection, protection from envy of others, right? The eye, other people's eye on you. And sometimes the eye symbol is used to kind of bounce that back. And it's to help protect against envy and yeah, mostly envy is what I feel. So here's the ace, a 1, although it's very lucky. And it's kind of like, there's the direction, right? Full speed ahead, Ace of Pentacles. Let's see what the heart of the matter is. And we have 6 of fungi. Now, I was actually wrong. Tentacles, it sounds like it should be pentacles, but it's water. That's why he's in water. So this is actually the Ace of Cups. This is about satisfaction, and the way is being pointed for you. I think there's a vibe of protection of yourself. Copper might be something good for you to wear right now, okay? Because it's almost like the eye is on you, and that, like, Ace of Cups is emotional satisfaction. So maybe you're in a relationship or something that other people envy, okay? So you may want to suit up with a little bit more protection vibes. And I'm not saying safety, I'm saying envy. Now, we've got the 6 of fungi here, which fungi is actually the earth element in this deck. So this is 6 of Pentacles. And this is kind of an interesting scene. It's like they're mining for fungi. And there's someone here kind of asking for money or asking for something to be given, right? He's down on his knees. So that's what's in the heart of the matter. Let's see as we go on what else we get here. Supporting the heart of the matter is the 10 of Cups. There's that relationship that I was talking about that I felt the envy from. Now, 10 of Cups is the happy family card. And, but in numerology, we call that a 1, an Ace of Cups. So in some ways, this card and this card are a lot alike, okay? Supporting the 6 of fungi, interesting. Let's see what your foundation of the reading card is. And this is called totality, and it's number 5. And it's really showing some teamwork here. All right. Or it's almost like, I kind of almost see you like caught, see how like there's one person and then she's connecting to the next person. I don't know if you're caught in the middle of like someone asking you for money. Maybe there's some like transition of like, I don't know if it's like your kids growing up that need money or if a family member asked you for a loan. But I want to keep going. Okay, behind the scenes, we have the 5 of Ether, which would be the 5 of Swords. It's an interesting situation. It kind of feels a little bit like the Tower. Now, he's got this huge bird like coming down into his hand. 5 is a number of change. This was also a 5 down here. Okay, this is behind the scenes. Ether is air, thought. Okay, so, and it's coming in next to the 6 of fungi where like there's kind of like being asked for some resources, being asked for some money is what I'm getting. And behind the scenes, it's like you need to get, there's like a change of thought about it. Let's see as this plays out a little bit more behind the scenes. We have the Strength card. This showed up. That's funny. I think this showed up in the same spot in pile 1. This is going to be the card of the year in our new year. Okay, so this is the heart. This has a lot to do with children. So this could be like your adult children asking for money, coming in next to this happy family card. Could be just like a relative asking for money or someone that you feel some kind of connection to. As we move into the future position, we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, which would traditionally go like that. Upright here. This is a card of delay, okay? And it's also like a card of enlightenment. And here's the 4 of Wands. This is beautiful. Now, 4 is a pause number. Wands is passion. Look at those bears trying to climb up there. So, I'm getting a vibe of like, almost like social climber or financially kind of wanting what you have. And maybe it, like at first I got a little bit of vibes like somebody's like has envy of your relationship and kind of wants what you have, and you may feel almost stuck in the middle in some way. But then I kind of got vibes of like someone's asking you for money, and maybe you've done it before and you know the outcome, and this time it's like the answers are saying they'll like delay, or offer them a good meal and some beauty, but I wouldn't keep handing over the resources. That's the vibe that I keep getting. I'm just gonna roll some dice just to help me out on the themes of this reading here. And so I just rolled the South Node in Leo in the 5th house. Okay, so the South Node is like old karma, old things that you've learned, or we hope we've learned, right? What we came in with. And it's in the sign of Leo, which is the heart, in the 5th house, which is Leo's house. So it kind of has to do with like, I'm going back to envy. You're seen for prosperity. You're seen for maybe living a life that other people want to lead. There's like some envy here. And this is something like you've been down this road before. This is not the first time you've dealt with this. I hope this time there's a different outcome. Okay. I'm going to pull a couple about what the best action that you can take to get the best outcome in this. I have the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. There's the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is usually about like overthinking, but then there's that eagle. We saw one here. I think it's an eagle. It's a large bird. There's another one here. So there's a lot of wisdom, and there's like almost being able to see the bigger picture. They can really hone in. And it's interesting how these are all like, these are the hearts in the middle. Here's all these swords. The swords is thoughts and the mind, okay? And this is like almost like an 8 can be like running the same road, right? Infinity circle. It can also be like thinking that we're stuck in some way, but we're really not. We just think we are, okay? And then here's the 6 of Cups. And the 6 of Cups is usually seen as like someone giving someone a gift. And there's the gift of like friendship, caring, love. And so basically you can give some time and energy and a meal and some beauty and some flowers. But if you continue the same old giving over too much, okay, you're going to end up just, you think that it's going to fix the problem, but it's just going to make people more envious of you. That's what I'm getting, okay? I'm going to pull a couple self-care cards for you through this month of December. What would be the best thing for you? These are falling out. All right, I wasn't going to pull this many, but you're going to get them. Here's plan a vacation. Okay, this is a good time to start thinking about things before the 13th. And then after the 13th, I wouldn't plan it during, I would plan it during retrograde, but I wouldn't book it during retrograde. Here's rest. Clean your space. And sing. Okay, so yeah, I really think that it's really about getting back to your needs and protecting yourself from others, kind of tapping your energy, okay? You're not as stuck as you think you are, and pausing is the answer. Pausing, resting, clearing, stepping into joy, owning your life, and not feeling guilt for having it maybe better than some others. But please protect yourself. You can protect yourself. You can use copper if you want to. I like to work with a lot of black stones like hematite, shungite, burning sage, and the word no really helps a lot too. Thank you, pile number 2. Okay, pile number 3, you picked the rose quartz, a very healing, nurturing, self-love, self-care, gentle kind of energy, okay? So I already know that the moon's going to be in this gentle power sign, emotional depth sign of Cancer, full moon over Christmas. Okay, so there's a gentle theme here for you. Now, I'm working with a few new decks today. I have this, let's see, Bodeca's, I think is how you say it, Tarot of Earthly Delights. This is a one-off Kickstarter. Fabulous, fabulous art in it. This one was sent up as a gift from Ginger at Bohemian Gypsy down in Tarpon Springs, Florida. And she sent us the Star Tarot, and it's growing on me really fast. We're going to get this one in stock soon. Also have the Zen Tarot here. That's always a favorite. I have the Witch's Tarot and a really nice self-care oracle card, a deck. Okay, so let's see how we can take care of you best, pile number 3, through this final month of 2023. Haven't looked at any of these cards. And your first card is the 5 of Combustion, or 5 of Wands. It's pretty fiery. It looks like a bunch of dogs, and they're all fighting this like big, large, I don't think it's a moose. I think it's, I don't know, it's some huge animal back there. Okay, almost like a bull. So, flames, lots of fire. We know it's a fiery month. 5 of Combustion. 5 of Combustion can be, it can look like teamwork to start, and it can turn into a dogfight. Okay, so we have to be careful. We have to be careful about how we get into it with others. How we, especially over the holidays, all right? Let's see what the heart of the matter is. The heart of the matter is the Page of Combustion. Young energy, okay? This almost feels to me like what I was saying about Sagittarius, and like how we can easily put our foot in our mouth or say things or use sarcasm in a way that hurts others. So here's like this kid. Okay, so let's be careful about our words, but there's also like kind of this young, powerful energy there in the heart of the matter. All right, let's see what we got. To start off with 2 fire cards. Let's see what's supporting the heart of the matter. Well, we've got some earth coming in here. We've got this beautiful Knight of Pentacles coming in to keep us grounded. Okay, I love all those feathers. Feels like almost like a quality of like really good sleep. Catching our dreams. Love all the crystals at the bottom. There's a bunch of dragonflies. It's really beautiful. And so the Knight of Pentacles is here showing us that we have to really remember what's important and how important rest is. Okay. Our foundation of the matter. Let's see what we're going to use here. It's a Devil card. This is a really interesting Devil card. Now, the Devil card is related to the sign Capricorn, okay? And we're going to move into a Capricorn sun. So we've got almost, these are usually the lovers seen in front of the Devil card. It's interesting that these almost look like they're in utero. And some of it almost reminds me of like snake almost looks like it's like going up the spine. Interesting how you can almost see like a bear back here. Okay, so the Devil this is the foundation of the reading. We've got this full moon up at the top. So the Devil has to do with all of things like guilt, shame, things we want to keep in the dark, right? Sometimes it has to do with relationships because that is the lovers usually there. So it can have a lot to do with dysfunction. It can have a lot to do with where we put our power. If we're putting our power into things of the past or putting all of our things on like energy into old guilt and old shame, we want to get our power back. Because another version of meaning of this card, it has a lot to do with big business and really about getting stable and getting things done and not letting fear stop us, okay? So this is a very powerful card coming in here as the foundation. Now it is Saturn ruled, and Saturn is our traditions, our values. It can have a lot to do with the structure, our family structure. So maybe when you step foot into your family for the holidays, maybe there's a lot of powerful people, kind of like this card that first came up. then maybe you feel like you go back to being the kid. But the Knight of Pentacles is here to help you through it, to bring you peace, to bring you stability, okay? And to be able to go into the situations and still be in your power and not be controlled by all these old things, okay? And remember, Pluto is there in Capricorn to help us transform those old ways. This is behind the scenes. Here's the Death card, okay? This is Pluto. This is here. This is ready. Interesting how the head is on fire. So you got to be really careful about how feisty things can be right now, okay? You got to pick your battles, and you need to step out and cool off and get some fresh air. Here's the Justice card behind the scenes, okay? Card number 11, considered a number 2. Relationships, there's the Balance. It's very beautiful, okay? So not forgetting that you bring a lot to the table too. Now in the future position, we have the Chariot card. So this is a good card to come up in the future position because this is ruled by the moon. This is related to the sign Cancer. This is the card of the year for 2023. This is about overcoming obstacles. So this is a great card during the Cancer full moon to know that we can pull through this triumphantly. All right, forward movement, overcoming obstacles on your spiritual path. Here's your Rebirth card. Fabulous. A lot of power there. Ace of Ether, Ace of Swords. Okay, so watch your words. Look how that hand, the mouth has like teeth. Okay, so watch your words carefully. Know that words can hurt people. Go easy. I'm going to give you a little bit more advice for this month. Temperance and 3 of Cups. Okay, so there's an option for joy. You can expand the joy parts. 3 of Cups. Okay, it's coming together, celebrating. There's a lot of beauty here. There's a lot of women around. It's a card of luck and blessings. Okay, so you know Jupiter's going to go direct by the end of the month. Jupiter rules temperance, and so this too shall pass. You are finding your way. You're making the changes that you need to make. You're letting go of some guilt and shame and old ways of being controlled by your family dynamics, or your lack of family dynamics can still be reflected into this, okay? Great change is there. You're maturing. You are moving forward, and you're going to choose your words wisely, communicate clearly, and just choose love. It's that simple, huh? Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Here's the Hierophant. I love him. Look at him. What a great version of the Hierophant. You know, we usually see him as a priest or somebody religious, right? But he's like the nature god. I really like him. And so when I asked, is there anything else? It's like, yeah, there are. You know, it's almost like this is this maze that you've gone through, and you are coming back to love, and you're making the changes that you need to make. It's a 5, and temperance is also a 5, okay? And you started off with a 5. And so the Hierophant wants you to kind of, it's almost like you're letting go of these old belief systems. You might even be letting go of a religious belief, and you're really in your power and knowing that you're connected to your higher power. Okay, so maybe Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating involves some sort of like going into a church, or going into, maybe you don't want to be there, but this is telling me that you are connected at all times, and that you can go along and enjoy the nice time that you have with your family or friends going into a church, but you are connected. So you are breaking free of thinking that there's some limit. Okay, there's no limit. You're fully divinely connected. So let's pull us a couple self-care cards for you. Oop, these just fell out, so they're going to be for you. You got the Movement card, and you got the Hydrate card. Okay, and I was thinking here when I saw the 3 of Cups, and when I also saw Temperance, I kind of saw some alcohol, right? So you have to be careful with that, because sometimes that can loosen us up too much and then our words can get messy. So this is saying make sure to stay hydrated. Maybe you're going to plan to go without alcohol for a while in the new year. And here's movement, right? And so we have a Virgo themed new year coming with Virgo, with the moon being in Virgo. So we look at that chart for the new year, leading us through the new year. We have themes here. If you feel like you're caught in the middle of this, please go outside and get some fresh air. Please be kind to yourself, because your first thing that showed up was rose quartz, okay? Kind, gentle, loving energy for yourself to take care of yourself through this month, through these holidays, through the end of 2023. But I see you doing it victoriously, the Chariot. All right, let's look for some dates for you. Power dates. I keep rolling Leo. It's pretty wild. Okay, so you got the North Node in Leo in the second house. So North Node is like Dharma point, what we came here to do. It's showing us in Leo. It rules the heart, it rules children, it rules joy, it rules fun, it rules love affairs. It's in the second house, which is Venus's house, the house of value. So it's making sure that you're feeding that part of you, healing that childhood, old childhood wounds, old mom wounds. Remember, this Cancer moon is really available to help us with some of those. There's a lot of power and there's a lot of value here. The best present that you might give this month is to yourself, and maybe it involves a piece of rose quartz. Thanks for joining me.